Greetings and welcome into this week's edition of Recruiting Hot Topics. I'm Channel 2 Sports Director Zach Klein, joined by the one, the only, Michael Carvell, the recruiting blogger with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. And Michael, this week we are taking a closer look at a kid who may be Georgia's top football recruit this year. That is Cedartown High School tailback Nick Chubb. What is your analysis of Mr. Chubb?
Well, Nick Chubb is definitely the best running back in the state of Georgia, and depending how he performs in the state playoffs, he could make a case for being the best tailback in the nation.
Whoa.
This kid has been putting up Nintendo or Xbox 360-like numbers the last 2 seasons. And last week, Nick Chubb became the first Georgia running back to hit the 2,000-yard rushing mark. Zach, he's still got 2 regular season games left, along with whatever happens in the playoffs to reach the magical mark of 3,000.
Wow. I mean, it's mind-boggling numbers, as you say. But we all know he is really good. Do you think, though, he has an honest-to-God realistic shot of being the #1 running back in the country?
Yes, I do.
Seriously?
I do.
Wow.
I do. He is already rated a 5-star by one recruiting service, and I think he'll easily move up in some of the other rankings when they reevaluate everything after the season. Zach, the biggest knock against Nick Chubb is that he's putting up these ridiculous stats against, well, less than spectacular competition. I get that, I guess. But I know he's legit because I saw Nick dominate against the state's best defenders at a junior all-star game last December. Here's my point. If Nick can keep posting these big numbers in the state playoffs where everybody is good, then he has a good shot at every award and accolade out there. It just all depends on the playoffs.
All right, fair enough. Great points. And I know Georgia fans are excited to hear all of this, but they really want to know what makes this kid so special. Can he run? Can he block? Can he do it all?
Yeah, that's a great question. First of all, Nick has that it factor. When you watch him in a game, you don't have to be a college scout just to know there's something special about him. He just has it, I guess you could say. Nick is built very compact like many of the SEC's top running backs. He's around 5'11", 215 pounds with deceptive speed and exceptional field vision. Zach, he's the rare type of running back who has the power to bulldoze over you or the speed to sprint around you.
Combination, speed, size, this kid has it all. People in Athens are very excited. One final question about Nick Chubb. As we mentioned, he is going to Georgia. Everybody in Athens pretty fired up about that. But how soon do you think we will see him on the field wearing the red and black?
Yeah, I mean, depending on injuries, Nick Chubb could start for Georgia next year, but I think everybody hopes that is not the case. They want Todd Gurley and Keith Marshall to both stay healthy in what may be their last season before they head to the NFL. But if needed, Nick Chubb can play next year in the SEC, and I think he will in a backup role. And even with Georgia's projected depth at the position next year, he's just way too good to sit on the bench. In my opinion, I don't think Georgia will make the same mistake and redshirt him like they did with no Sean Marino, which came around to hurt the Bulldogs because they lost an NFL season with him. If you're good these days at running back, there's so much wear and tear on those guys, you play immediately.
Michael Carvell, the recruiting blogger extraordinaire for the AJC. As always, we appreciate your time. We'll see you here next week on Recruiting Hot Topics.